Hello everyone, Adamant MTG, here to play Magic the Gathering Arena and continue my series of new player quick tips. The final color challenge is the green deck. Let's get into it. Our Planeswalker of choice, large and in charge, Vivian Reed. Facing off against Ajani. Okay, so we've got our mana ramp, which we've talked about in the other video. The intention of this deck looks like putting out big giant creatures as quickly as possible. So we're going to get some ramp out. We have 4 mana next turn to drop the 3/3 Pack Hunter. I'll not block this, of course. We will die. Pretty neat. Now, 4 or 5. Okay, so there's 2 different things we can do here. We could drop out the Hunter, or we can get the scary Brontodon out with ramp next turn. Let's do that. We can hold back. We don't need to attack every single turn. Green is a little different than red, where attacking a lot isn't necessary. It's putting down your big creatures and setting up the big attack. They're just going to block with their Elephant Soldier. We're missing a land drop. Now we can start threatening. Don't have to attack with these, but we will be going in with all the big boys. Now, of course, they're going to do some blocks, some chump blocks. All that stuff is good. We're going to rearrange some things here. Okay, so the damage I'm doing is 5. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get my... So there's a couple things I can do here. I can arrange to kill the creatures that I want, but because I'm only doing 5 damage, actually 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I kill everything, so it doesn't matter. However, if it did matter, that's where you want to readjust your... The one on top takes damage first, etc. down the line. Two, 2, 1. Like a good amount of damage. Now, sometimes if they have combat tricks, they can change that outcome, but I feel like the attack there was where I wanted it. A little extra life, that's fine. Not going to be enough. I have another one of these Pack Hunters. And this time, even though I have... This time I have 7 mana on the board. I'm never going to use more than that, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I could have a 9 casting cost card in my deck. But they're probably going to block the big one, right? They have to survive. So attacking with everything in that case gets me lethal. Whenever you're facing a situation where you know that they have to block one creature, there's nothing wrong with attacking with creatures that you know are bad attacks. Because nothing is a bad attack when you have lethal. Okay, our next opponent. They took out these to put in more creatures. I guess that's good. Seems like a good upgrade. Okay, so this is a classic red versus green. With red being aggressive and small, I feel pretty confident that we can win this. Of course, I beat the green deck by going hyper aggressive. See how they do. Little ramp to get our Pack Hunter out sooner. No blocks. And tap that creature. That's pretty neat. The +1/+1 counter too, so these creatures get tougher. Ooh, ouch. Takes away our spider. We would have had a spider out that turn. Now it's interesting that it's instant and then I get to untap. So what I get to do is attack here. If they want to lose their weird, you're welcome to block. They do. If they have another shock in hand, they don't, apparently. We do 1 damage from the trample. The way trample works is, see the tooltip kind of explains it. Extra card from the Majesty here. So there's a lot of card draw now that we have. We didn't get our land, but we do have another mana ramp creature, so we'll do that. I'm going to attack. Probably don't block here. Why they would. I'm at 17. I don't feel like I'm threatened at all by anything they can do. Reasonable. But still not gonna take us out. We have big, scary things. Now I can no blocks. Spiders have reach, so I can stop the dragon. Seeing lands well. So let's just do that. I'm actually going to keep this alive. Oh my gosh. That's a terrible misplay. For some reason... So 1+1, let's do some math. 1+1 equals 2. Shock does 2 damage. So what I did just there was completely throw away... I don't even know what I was doing. I guess I can do it again. I had it all, it was all part of the plan. Didn't even bother attacking. Because I have vigilance, I'm going to attack, and if they want to block, they're welcome to. Well, block that way. So all the damage gets absorbed. Nothing goes trampling through. Oh. And they drew land, so victory is ours. Alright, might have been a little bit loose on the plays there, but we got there. 8 land is just too much. Red decks don't want to see that. They want to see fast flooding of creatures and going wide and flying and whatever they have to do. Dragon stuff. But we got them. Alright, let's upgrade the deck again. We are facing Jace next. The Jace has flyers and fairly reasonable high defense creatures for some reason. I guess the intention is their creatures are kind of designed to be protective, so their spells and late game shenanigans can occur. And our job is to ramp into the Gigantosaurus. Eventually we'll be more power. Alright, here come the flyers. Blocks. More flying. Need a spider. Spider to help us. Not a spider yet. Ouch. A lot of stuff coming at us in the air. Unless we get a spider, we're in big trouble here. Or if I should draw the extra card. I'm going to. Never-ending Air Force. Even if we do have a spider now, not enough to stop them. They've done too well. They've put down a flyer every turn. Not have stakes. Yeah, it looks like Jace took us out again. Don't see a way to stop lethal. The cards that I got were simply not good enough to defeat the cards they had, so maybe they block here? Still doesn't matter, right? I don't see anything in this universe that helps us win this game. Pretty close though. I don't think could have got our we've got our Brontodon any earlier than we did. I don't think. Let's tell the Jace good game, even though we can just think here. We could just rope our opponent. Jace deserves it, right? Nah. Let's take our loss and do a repeat. See if we can find a way to beat the Air Force of Jace. It's all about spiders, I think. Gotta get that spider out. Now having a creature with power 4 or greater will help increase your mana. Did that. Thanks for the tip. I did exactly what you're saying. Okay, Jace, let's do it again. Shuffle up, Jace. We're back at it. Looks like a very similar hand. Maybe I did something wrong last game. Very possible. I thought I pumped it up as fast as I could, but maybe I could have used my strengths earlier, perhaps. comes the flyers. Okay. It looks like the same exact hand. It's so weird. I think this is set up. Like everything is too similar. So I guess if I play it differently, I'll have a different result. Is that what we think? The reason I'm doing this is they block. Great. Didn't. That's still great. Pull this time. Stop. Oh gosh. Darn it. All right. I wanted to put a stop and get that on the stack. Okay, so what I was trying to do there, but I missed it, is be in full control so I can make my counter before this triggers. But I didn't hit the button quick enough, or I didn't set my stop on time. So my bad. My bad. Full control is a very important thing to use. So you get to use it, kids. Start racing them for damage. You know they're going to drop another Warden or their Elemental or something next turn. Yep. Excuse me, I'm not going to bother with full control. I'm just going to put the counter on it now. Get 2 cards now, and I can cast the Brontodon. Okay, so this time we just have to aggressively get out. My goodness. So sorry. I think that's going to be what we need to do. Just be more aggressive. Wow. Take out the blocker. Swing for lethal. It's weird. I guess I just played it wrong. It's kind of interesting though. I'm kind of glad that I played it the way I did the first time. It shows you that with the same cards in the same situation, by playing it, I basically played it wrong the first time. And I wasn't even aware of it. It wasn't even something that I saw coming. But the way I played it was definitely not the best way to play Magic. So if you noticed my mistakes in game 1, congratulations. Because that means you are astute and have an aptitude for Magic the Gathering. I have to learn from my mistakes and come back at it with a different approach, and we were victorious the second time. And it was just a matter of the pacing of the using, I guess, getting more aggressive, getting the 4/4 out quickly so I can get the mana ramp to cast the Baloth, and is that what it's called? Oops. You know what I mean. Brontodon, whatever it is. The Baloth, it's Brontodon. But yeah. So I think that's actually a really good example of when you play Magic in a certain way and you're not really aware of the pacing or the tempo or whatever's happening. They were able to get so many more flyers out and sort of control the board with their creatures. And for some reason, I was holding back on casting my... I don't know. I can't really explain why I did the things I did, but I clearly was not focused on victory. I was focused on just playing cards, not really paying much attention. So, if you want to be an improved Magic player, reevaluate your plays, evaluate what you've done and what you can do differently, and you have a different outcome, which we just learned right there. All right, on to Liliana. Green versus black. Now, black is a color, if I were to say color identity, has an advantage over green because black usually has good creature removal, just the ability to kill creatures. So no matter, unlike red, which has to do damage typically to creatures, black has a lot of spells that just kill things. So no matter how big my creature is, they can just cast one spell that ruins its day. So 7/7 doesn't mean anything to a black deck. Sometimes they also have Death Touch, things like that. So let's do this. Four blades, and there's a Death Touch. So the way Rabbit Bite works, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to a creature you don't control. This is going to kill the rat effectively. There's another green card or a green ability typically that's called Fighting, where your creature does damage to the opponent's creature and the creatures fight each other. If I had Fighting, the rat would kill this. But because it's not fighting, a good thing. Let's think here. A couple things we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 mana, not quite enough, but we're close. How do I want to do this? Sorcery speed. Alright, I guess we have to kill rat. See? Echo 3. I draw a land. Actually cast the Brontodon. I think. This time. Four. I have to. Killing this now because if I don't, it becomes a 4/4. Then the Indrik dies. That. Interesting block, but I will take it. Oh boy, hit 3 rats. That's rough. That's okay. They probably blocked here. So this is a good example of attacking or not dropping your creatures at the second main phase, because here's what's going to happen. They clearly can kill. They're at 12 life. These aren't going to be lethal, but they most likely will block the Indrik here, I would imagine. This becomes a 3/3, and then we can drop our bigger guys. The reason doing that is to... Oh, they blocked very differently than I would have expected. Maybe because of the trample? Yes. And this has trample too, so it feels like it's lethal next turn unless they top deck an amazing card. A murder or something is what they need. Alright, let's see if they got it. They got it. And they got the blocker too. That's really good. Alright, so now, after that amazing top deck miserly play from Liliana Vess, we'll drop a 10/10 on them and see if they can find another murder. They didn't. We are victorious. We're going to cast a Unicorn because we have to. We're going to cast the Delver because we have to. Attack with everything. Because that's a lot of fun. So, the green deck powered through our opponents. We're going to upgrade the deck automatically. And here is our final boss fight in the final color challenge altogether. Here we go. Large and in charge, Vivian Reed versus... Drum roll, please. The moment we've all been waiting for. I think we might be 2-2 in final boss fights, if I remember correctly. Darkios. No ramp, but it's okay. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I would have liked to have seen some mana acceleration. Oh! We're facing a green deck. That's pretty fascinating. There's our ramp. I guess better late than never. Reachy. It blocks a creature with flying, okay? Take one here if they block, I don't care. About 1 damage. Hey, look at that. You almost got there. Huh. They got there first. They had their mana before I did. Fantastic. Fantastic. Or maybe we should have. I think I'm gonna have to block with the Mystic here. Just just to survive. When I say block, I mean chump block. They're just one step ahead of us. Land again is the key. Wow. 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 They did all the right things. Taking out our Bailoff before we can use it as a mana accelerant. I have to take the damage now. Cast this. Wow. They just did everything perfectly. They did it all perfectly. I don't even have a chance to rabid bite it because of the Hydra's growth. Wow. Alright. So yeah, that's magic for you. Trampling 17 trampling Gigantosaurus. You saw it here first, everyone. Even if we block, we get trampled over and we have lethal. So we have lost the majority of our boss battles. Well played by our opponent. Didn't have what it takes. Again, I think it was mana was a really big factor there. If any of those turns, I would have been able to put my Gigantosaurus first and then use the Rabid Bite, but they were one step ahead with their mana. Arguably, you might have argued that it was a mulligan hand with 3 land and no mana acceleration. Mulligans are definitely a deep part of the game that I would say aggressive mulligans, and what I mean by that is get a really strong playable hand rather than a mediocre hand or a bad hand, and I think you'll have better results. So that might have been the key to the game, is throw away your mediocre 7 cards and hope to get much better in your hand of 6. So take the lesson from me. You rely on the shuffler, or you rely on yourself that you're going to get the 4th land in play, which I never saw. These were my starting lands. Started with 3, and I ended the game with 3. And I think that's, once again, we learned the lesson of Magic, how land works, and RNG. And that wraps up our color challenge games. I'm going to go back through in another video and do some sort of deck tech with all of these decks now that they're unlocked. We'll take a look at them real quick. We now have all of the color challenge decks, plus you can ignore some of these other ones that I've imported, but we'll do another video where we talk about budget decks and improving the decks as you are new players and going through the process of collecting cards to build decks that you like. We're going to look at each of these decks as we played them and see how we can, see how they're constructed, sort of deconstruct them, talk about, constructed deck theory, and sort of we'll also discover a little bit more about the color identity and things you like about these decks. So look forward to those videos coming soon. And with that, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and be kind. On that note, see you next time.